We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Clincher Day today for MLB Power Pros, as we are officially one win away from clinching the American League West title as an expansion team, so isn't that wonderful? What is up, YouTube? I'm your friendly neighborhood N-Man64, and I'm bringing you some more MLB Power Pros. In the last episode, we had a pretty intense win against the White Sox with JD at the helm, with Jamie Wright at the helm. And in this particular game, it is officially Clincher Day. We haven't had the best of runs since that White Sox series. And by that, I mean literally at the end of the White Sox series. We've run into a bit of a rough patch. Going 500 against the Orioles. We did sweep the Sea Dogs, but that's really not saying much. Took 2 of 3 from Seattle to all but end their playoff shots. And we got swept by Oakland, oddly enough. But Jamie Wright naturally bounced us back and got us a much-needed win. And with Clincher Day on everybody's tongue, it is time to see who is going to get the starting position. And judging from the looks of it, it will be Ian Snell. Unfortunately, it looks like Brett Myers is pitching like shit, so I think he's going to be relegated to the bullpen for the playoffs. But more importantly, Russell the Muscle is back. We also had an injury scare for Enox, but don't worry about him. He's fine. He's fine. He just hasn't played in a while. Thank you, Bailey, for your tremendous service. You are no longer needed. We have Russell the Muscle back. Scott Spezio did a very good job holding the fort down, but we needed that big left-handed bat in our lineup. And, yeah, that lengthens out the lineup perfectly for me. We have speed, we have some good contact, we have the power threats, 4, 5, and 6. Marcus Timms continues to be a monster, which is very important. I think we will swap you guys for a National League World Series lineup. But it is Clincher Day, and we are going to Kansas City to clinch against the Royals. A team we have not played yet, and a team that has kicked our asses for the most part this year. The Angels win, but that's not really relevant to us. As long as we do not choke our lead away, we will be good to go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're bringing you the second of this 3-game series between the Kansas
We've
City
got to
Royals.
win in Kansas City. If we can win, we're in.
Here we go for the first pitch. There's the first pitch, and it's hit. Line drive up the middle.
Now, Kansas City at this point was a dumpster fire.
Las Vegas.
They had veterans who weren't doing anything. They had young kids who weren't developing into anything. They were just an overall a mess of a franchise.
He's in there before the tag, safe at second.
And this had been going on for a very long time due to poor ownership, poor management positions. They gave up on good young players early, then they didn't give up on good players and wasted time trying to develop them. It was a very bad time to be a Kansas City Royal fan. Pretty much the beginning of the 90s until the 2010s. It was a very dark time. But you did have good players. You had guys like Raul Ibanez, Mike Sweeney, Johnny Damon, Beltran, Zach Greinke, Mark Teahen, and the like come up and show promise for the organization.
Russell Branyan has a chance to increase their lead.
At back.
He put that first pitch right in there.
He's no longer number 2 in the home. It was a home run race until he got hurt.
Pop up.
Oh, he popped it up. Oh, well. That's no big deal.
He got it. There's the third out.
They did have a lot of promising young players, but they never really materialized into anything until pretty much well after the...
leading off as the first batter in their lineup.
So pretty much well after the...
he's not going to catch that throw.
Really? Oh, wow, your first game. Russell's got muscle commits an error. That could be a problem.
Throwing to second.
But he rebounds the very next play, so I'll take that.
Our next batter, Mike Sweeney. First pitch is stroked for a hit.
We've been having a lot of defensive problems the last few games, I've noticed. I look at the score sheets, and we're committing a lot of errors. I guess that's because our team defense is the best right now.
Out.
since we're trying to get a little bit of offense going. We were very good defensively early, but that also came attached with the fact that we have it also came attached with the fact that we also had no offense coming from
Las Vegas are now up to bat. Marcus
even our left fielder, Whiteman, who was an all-star, was not producing offensively enough for us, which is why I have Marcus Timms out there. You know, because he is the man, the myth, the legend, the Marcus, the Timms, after all. But yeah, Kansas City really would not become like the Kansas City Royals as they're known today, and they would be known in the 2010s until well after the Power Pros era, because that was when they started to make serious moves to try to improve their roster, trading away the few good pieces they had for prospects, bringing in good talent evaluators, and that's eventually why they won the World Series in 2015.
The center fielder's trying to get under it,
and now have a very good roster coming into the 2025 season.
The batter is going for second. Batter stops on second.
They also had some bad times in the late
riding a 6-game hitting streak is now.
I think they'll take that World Series championship in 2015.
Going to third. Out.
I know. I wish I could have. Whatever.
Our next batter.
We're not yelling at the Mets.
First pitch.
This has nothing to do with the Mets. This is the American League. But the Mets are in the playoffs.
Pulled inside.
I will show the updated standings for you guys because we are not going to play a single game the rest of the year.
Off the head of the bat.
Regardless of how well we do in those games, we are not playing another game the rest of the year. We're going to skip right to the playoffs.
2 hits, no errors, 1 man.
Unless, of course, someone gets hurt.
We are going to face the number 4, 5, and 6 batters in this inning. Here we go for the first pitch.
I think we already are, though, considering Brett Myers is not doing anything. He's not eating innings. He's getting blown up in the game.
That's a strike.
Scheduling. So I think we are in trouble if we cannot sweep series.
2 away.
So like the short series, like the divisional series, is the best of 3 out of 5. If we can sweep the Twins, I think we'll be okay. But the league championship and the World Series are where I'm actually worried because I don't think we have enough pitching. I think JD can. I mean, JD and Jamie Wright can handle their parts very easily. I'm not worried about that.
45.
Snell and Kazmir are both ones that I'm a little concerned with.
First pitch is stroked for a hit. Line drive up the middle between second and shortstop.
I'm a little concerned we may not be able to handle it. Because remember, we're not just going to be facing some guys again. We're going to be facing the best the American League has to offer now. We're not just going to be facing the Sea Dogs in Kansas City every single game.
That's a stolen base.
Also, I'm 90% sure Timmy already has 100 stolen bases.
He caught it.
I haven't checked. I've been mostly focusing on the playoff. Jason, Ryan Church not having a single home run since August is kind of problematic. Actually, I think it's since July at this point.
Mike Piazza has been in top form as a batter this season. He popped up to the catcher in foul territory.
I think I might need to move the lineup around a bit.
It's a homer! See ya!
I like Piazza hitting cleaner, so I might need to move Russell up to 3.
He was retired on a pop-up to first base.
Or maybe move Piazza up to 3, Russell 4, the man, the myth, the legend, the Marcus, the Tim Betts 5th.
He's in position. He got
that moved Church to 6th.
2 runs.
I don't know. I got to make a lot of lineup decisions. I may even have Marcus Timms play right field so we can get Whiteman some at-bats. Because as much as I love Ryan Church and how it was fun, that little run where he was incredible,
it's going deep into left
we need as much offense as we can get.
Goes back, 1 away. Snell retires the hitter on a pop-up to center.
And I don't think we're getting that.
Matt Triner, that's a strike. Pulled inside. Foul. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We are really seeing a great performance by Snell. Next at bat, Angel Sanchez. It's a strike. He put that first pitch right in there.
As long as I can keep your ERA below 4, below 5, I think we'll be okay.
Out.
So Ian, I just need you to throw me 6 solid innings.
We're going into the
if you can give me 6 innings, we'll be good.
Got a home run in his last at bat. He's set to deliver the
man, the myth, the legend, the Marcus, the Timms. He is just a house on fire right now. As he's been since we acquired him. Having him in our lineup definitely lengthens
infield grounder, pass to left to shortstop, hit to left field.
So I'm kind of leaning towards like making sure he stays around.
Thames gets a base hit to left field. Thames hits back-to-back base hits. He
It
connects
does.
with the first pitch.
I am
He's
curious to see what
going,
we can get in
going.
free agency, though.
That one is off the wall.
We're definitely going to need another starter. I don't trust
Ryan
Brett
Schneider
Myers.
riding a
I mean,
6-game
granted,
streak is
I
not
might
complete.
play this
Throw to second.
myself on the
How about
side
first?
future seasons
Close call, but he's
because
safe.
I am kind of getting attached to this team.
Now betting his rookie
But
player.
we're not
West.
doing. I'm not
Here we
covering
go for
this
the first
team
pitch.
every single
He
week.
smacks
That
the
would
first
just-
pitch.
That would just be
Sending it
silly.
home. Out.
Oof. Sucker punch.
Number 45.
He's set to deliver the first pitch. He caught it. That's the
Oh,
final out.
nice grab.
No runs. Two.
I'll take that.
They are leading
Alright.
off in this inning from the top of their batting lineup, the Royals. First pitch, and it's pulled towards the line.
I'm just
There's
so
the ball
thankful
just
that,
inside the
like,
right field
if they-
line.
like
Fair.
getting
He
back to
steps
a
in
little
the
bit of
bag
what I
and
talked
makes
about in the
play
previous
unassisted.
episode.
One away.
I'm just
Next up,
really
Mark
thankful
Frizzalani.
that baseball.
He grounded to third his last time up. It's
That
a
you know the
strike.
baseball
He's
that's like
behind in the
has
count.
these extra playoff spots because now you're
Swing
seeing
and a miss.
teams
Strike three.
that aren't ordinarily in the
Frizzalani
playoffs
struck
have
out.
legitimate
Three
shots.
pitches.
It's
Next
not
at bat, Mike
constantly
Sweeney.
the Dodgers
He flied
and
out
the
to left field
Braves
his first
constantly
time up.
seeing each other. And it's not constantly the Yankees
It's
and
a
the
strike.
Astros. Yes,
He's
the Yankees
behind
and
in the
Astros
count.
are usually in the playoffs, but you've got other teams appearing now.
They're throwing to first.
Teams like Baltimore,
Out.
teams
There's
like
the third
Kansas
out.
City,
No
teams
runs.
like
No hits.
the
No errors.
Diamondbacks in
At the end of the
2023,
fourth
the
inning,
Mets
the Royals.
last year. I like
The number
seeing
2, 3, and 4
variety.
batters are due
Like
up
everyone
this inning.
wants to talk that there should be
Here we go, the
dynasties
first pitch.
in sports. It's like
He
dynasties
smacks the
are
first
good
pitch.
for the
He
team or
settles under
the
it. He
area
got it. One away.
where they're happening. They're
Ryan
not good for
Church has
anything
had a
else.
double
Like
already in this
everyone
game.
talks about how
He's set to deliver the
great
first pitch.
baseball was. They always talk
Down
about
low,
the
just missed.
greatness
Ball.
of baseball in the 1950s, where like outside of like two or three years, it was basically always Yankees
Dribbler off the
Dodgers.
bat. Throwing to first. Out. Two away.
And I'd like to point out that
Church grounds to second and is
I don't mean
retired.
like the
Mike Piazza
LA
hit
Dodgers.
a
for
two-run
the most
home
part.
run
It
in his
was
last
mostly
at
the
bat.
Brooklyn
Here we go,
Dodgers.
the first pitch. Hit the first pitch.
So,
it's
like,
going.
The Yankees were
There it
perpetually in the World
goes.
Series. That you couldn't
Piazza
stop.
hits
That
his
just
second
I don't
home
know
run
why
in a row.
that was just a
5-0.
thing.
Las Vegas
That
extend their lead to 5. Next up, Russell Branyan. He belts one off the first pitch.
Yeah, I think Russell's a little rusty.
He got it. There's the
I don't
third
think
out.
he's ready for
One run.
the. I don't think he's ready
Now
for the
facing number 4, 5, and
to
6
carry
batters.
his team on
He
his
made
back
it out
right
the first time up with an infield
But like
grounder.
everyone talks about like that era, like how it was so great, and I'm like,
Going to the opposite field.
how
Foul
little?
ball.
Do you want to talk about how little variety there was? That every year
He
it was.
drives it to the opposite
It
field.
was the
second
Dodgers,
baseman makes
it
the
was
play to
the
first
Yankees,
base.
it
Out.
was
One
maybe,
away. Brown.
and I'm
to
talking
second, and is
maybe
retired.
one or two other
Next
teams.
up, Corey Koski.
Maybe the
First
Phillies
pitch is
randomly
strokes for
lucked
a
into
hit.
the World Series. Maybe the Giants
Snell
randomly
got that
ended up
one.
in the World Series.
Snell
Maybe it was
catches
the Braves,
pop-up.
but it was
Next up, Ross
predominantly
Glode. He made
always
it out the first
Yankees,
time up with an infield
Dodgers.
grounder.
And
On
like,
first.
if I was a baseball
Out.
fan in Detroit
No runs.
or Chicago or Cincinnati, I'm sitting there going like, why am I even watching this
Time
game
out.
if my
The
team has
Royals
no
are
shot
putting in
of
a new
winning
pitcher.
in July?
Cole is the second
What the
pitcher
hell's
for the
the
team
point
to
of
take
even
them out in
continuing
this
the rest
game.
of the season?
Hit the first pitch.
And
It's
that's
going,
really
going.
what will happen to all of these sports if you keep cutting
There
down
it goes, a home
the
run.
postseason.
Thames gets his second home run of the day.
Fans want to see their teams in the
Las
postseason. You
Vegas
can argue
extend
money,
their
money,
lead to
money, money
6.
all you want.
Here we go for the
And
first
yes, that's
pitch.
probably a big factor. But I'm also
Brown
sitting there
goes
going,
back. There's a
these
hit.
fans want to see their teams succeed.
Las Vegas get 2 consecutive
It's not like you're
hits.
letting a team with like
Next at bat, Ryan
50
Schneider
wins get into the
riding a
playoffs. You're
6-game
letting a
hitting
team with
streak
like
is now at the plate. Foul
85,
ball.
88 wins get into the playoffs. Look at the Mets last year.
High fly into right
If you
field.
do the playoffs where only the two
Brown
best
goes
teams
back,
with the two
drops
best
in for a
records get
base
in,
hit.
the Mets pummeled Milwaukee and Philadelphia
Now
in the
betting his rookie
playoffs
player West.
and
He's
went
set to
toe-to-toe
deliver
with the
first
Dodgers
pitch.
until they just could not beat them anymore.
De Jesus goes back. There's a hit.
And
West hits one deep in the alley in left center, and it's in there for a
yeah,
base
like
hit.
you wouldn't have seen
He hits
that
the first
happen.
pitch.
It would have been
Relay to second.
Dodgers
Las
Phillies,
Vegas
and
get another
knowing
run.
how the Phillies
Now
played
betting his rookie
in
player,
that
Enoch.
division round
Here
where
we
they
go,
were
the
not
first
that
pitch.
good,
He belts one off the first
you're
pitch.
probably
Send it
looking
home.
at a sweep, honestly.
Ryan Church has had a double already in this
The Dodgers
game. Here
probably
we go,
sweep the
first
Phillies
pitch.
and then go to the
Strike.
World Series where they decimated the Yankees. You wouldn't be seeing these
Pulled
fun
inside. Foul
games
ball.
anymore. You wouldn't see historic moments. It would just be boring-ass friggin' postseasons. Teams would start losing interest. You'd start seeing less fans showing up to games. The TV deals would become irrelevant because no one would be watching. It would be remarkably boring, and yet there are fans out there who say, "Oh, I'm tired of seeing."
It's the homer. See ya. Piazza hits his third consecutive home run.
That is his third consecutive home run. Oh my God.
Batting, Russell Branyan. Here we go, the first pitch. He takes a
like it's really like what the lady, like what the secretary lady in this game says. The game would just get boring, no one would watch, and the league would collapse. Imagine if you only had the two division winners in the championship series. Yes, you're sitting there going, "Oh, it would be great pennant chases." Teams would realize they have no shot of winning in July and August, and they would just stop caring. Fans wouldn't be coming out to games. You'd have teams would implode quickly. You would have a league where you only got 5 or 6 teams all together in both leagues. You may as well combine them, and then what's the point? Oh, then you'll switch to, oh, well, the team with the best record should win. Okay, so then you're watching Yankees, Dodgers. Yankees or Dodgers winning every championship. And they're like, oh, well, then the other team should do what they're doing. And the teams can't do what they're doing. Do you think the St. Louis Cardinals can do what the Yankees do and sign a guy for $150 million for 3 years or something like that? They can't do that. Kansas City can't do that. When they sign a guy to that big of a contract, it means more to them than it does to the Yankees, who can just eat the money that flops for them.
He's under it. He caught it. 1 away.
Nice catch.
44.
Here we go for the first pitch.
I just can't stand when fans are like that. And they're like, "Oh, well, we want less teams in the playoffs because it dilutes the thing." Like, if it dilutes the attitude,
here we go.
Then even you argue, Dodger fans argue this year. Like, I don't hear it from Dodger fans, because Dodger fans, for them, it doesn't really matter. Unless, of course, they lose in the first round after getting a bye. But last year, the consensus in baseball was the Dodgers-Padres division series was really going to determine which team went to the World Series. Yes, the Mets-Phillies bout was fun.
Next up, Mike Sweeney.
Yes,
hits the first pitch.
Yes, it was a fun story. The Mets and Brewers was fun. Padres demolishing Atlanta was fun.
Here we go for the first pitch.
But the Padres-Dodgers was what many thought was going to be the World Series. Because both were considered the 2 best teams in the National League, regardless of record. And it showed, because the Padres absolutely demolished the Dodgers the first 2 games, and then the Dodgers rallied to win the series. The Mets and Dodgers went toe-to-toe, but it was clear that the Mets were not going to win that series long-term, which then prompted... Oh my God, are we really doing these cheap-ass hits again, game?
First goes for third. Koski gets a base hit down the right field line. Next up, Ross Glode.
I would take a well-struck hit.
There's a ball just inside
not
the right
these cheap-ass hits. Jesus, game.
Runner on first goes for third. Glode batting in the clutch gets a hit.
I would take a well-struck hit. None of this cheap-ass. Ooh, I'm gonna nub it.
That's the end of the inning. He steps in the bag and makes the play unassisted. 1 run, 3 hits. No.
But like they always say, the Padres-Dodgers last year was the league championship
in their lineup. West got a single in his last at-bat.
Would that have been the case? Because the Padres wouldn't have been in the playoffs in that instance. It would have been Padres-Phillies.
West
gets the Phillies had the better record than them.
West hits back-to-back base hits.
How would you have handled a situation like 2022?
Toss to second.
Would the Mets and Braves have done a playoff game or something like that?
Next at bat,
because they both had the best record at 101 and 161 for what would be the NL East.
DeJesus comes in, drops in for a base hit.
And the Phillies wouldn't have been in the World Series that year. They don't have arguments because they're just very salty that their team isn't winning. But like that's the whole point. You're supposed to have multiple teams have good shots at winning. If you don't, fans are going to start asking, what's the point of me watching this if my team has no shot of winning? Like, it's even basketball knows that was a problem. I'm not even the big fan of basketball because it's like, basketball was built on the backs of super teams.
3 hits.
It was LeBron James and whoever he wanted, and it was Steph Curry and the Warriors.
The Royals.
And now,
to bat.
granted, I haven't been following too much of basketball, but I know that there's teams that actually have legitimate shots of winning.
He's set to deliver the first pitch.
Like, this is like the first time in my lifetime that the Knicks have a legitimate shot to win a championship. And I'm not even a Knicks fan. I'm just like, it's interesting.
Into the left center gap.
Like, the Knicks are perpetually like the team that spends a ton of money and always loses. But this time around, that's not the case.
Sanchez gets a base hit to right field. Next at bat, David DeJesus.
Of these
line drive up
hits.
the middle between second and shortstop.
I don't mind that. That's a hit. That is a legitimately well-struck hit. And that one too. I don't have an argument with that. That is an impressively struck hit. What I can't stand is the little nubs that mean nothing and are hit to the most unfair, impossible to field areas. You can sit there and go, oh, well, you could structure the fielding around, can't you? Oh, you could do this. Oh, you could just field everything around. No. It doesn't make a difference because then they'll just do the light stroke in the other direction. The AI is fucking cheating.
They could be trying to load the bases.
Fucking annoying.
Pulled inside. The ball is
fucking annoying.
For a base hit. Third base runner comes home. The Royals pick up another run. Emil Brown has had a base hit
fucking
already in this game.
Extremely annoying.
Las Vegas are putting in a new pitcher. Peralta is the second pitcher.
That's not even why I switched. It's the fact that they just do these little nub hits. They can't even legitimately earn a hit. Like Troy Gloss of the 190 batting average can't even get a legitimate hit going. I mean, he got a legitimate hit. He can hit one. But these little fuckers don't even pretend to do fair hits. They literally just do nubs. They do
Pop fly to
and look at that. Ooh, well, I'm going to call that a fair ball, and it's going to go all the way to the outfield wall for no reason. Ooh.
He pulled that one well. He steps on the first base bag. Out. There's the third out.
I would not mind if I was getting beat, if I would be getting beat by, like, legitimate hits.
2 home runs in this game.
It's the nubs. It's the cheap-ass hits that are beating me, and I can't, be hitting me in this game, and I can't frickin' stand it. If you hit a home run off me, fine.
Home run of the day for Tim's. Las Vegas extend their lead to 8.
And that's why I beat this game up. That's why I try to say, oh, I don't want to be a bully. No, I'm going to be a bully from now on. Don't care. Don't care.
Goes back. 1 away.
Don't care. I bully. Bully. Right, Brian? We're just going to bully these fuckers from now on.
He belts one off the first pitch.
I bet that's how the Royals have won all their games that they have against my team this year. It's just little nub hits, not even legitimate hits. They're like,
Schneider gets his second double of the day.
Number 14, West.
I can barely swing with these
go,
tiny arms, and I'm gonna do
one
this.
off the first pitch.
Oh, it's all the way to the wall. Not even struck well. Oh God!
Off the head of the bat.
See, look, when I get the nub, oh, it goes right to a fielder. Oh, well, you should have hit it the other way there, Chief.
There's a timeout on the field. The Royals are putting in a new pitcher. Greinke is the third pitcher for the team to take the mound in this game. He swung on it.
Don't even care. Just
pulled inside. Fair ball down the first baseline. Missed it. Schneider fielded that one. Runner on second goes for home base.
Did he just say Schneider fielded that one?
Throwing to second. They're throwing to first. Safe at first.
That's Emil Brown.
Next at bat, Inox.
Oh my God.
Here we go. The first pitch. He hits the
it's
first
not
pitch.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard. From.
There's the third out. 2 runs,
the
3 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. Las Vegas, 13.
My favorite was I hit a pop-up, which was going into the shallow outfield, and he said, this one's going to die at the warning track. I'm like, are you high? It doesn't even make it to the warning track. The warning track is right by the wall.
He's behind in the count. Dribbler off the bat. Ground ball right between first and second. Hit to right field.
Actually, you know what? Nope, that was a legitimate hit. I'm not going to complain. That was a legitimate hit.
There's a timeout on the field.
I cannot complain because that was legitimate.
Reggie Sanders. Throwing to second. How about first? Save it first. Angel Sanchez.
What are those other
He's hit
numbers
already in this game.
I'm curious.
Strike.
I know number 5 is George Brett. That's obvious.
Strike. He's behind in the
Who are
count.
the other 2 numbers for? I can't tell. I can't tell who they are. Maybe it's because of my glasses or the poor quality of the audio, of the visuals.
Sanchez strikes out. We are now down to the final out for this game.
It looks
David
like
DeJesus got a single in his last at bat. Throwing to first.
I can't even tell. Oh well.
And that
Doesn't matter.
wraps it up. Las Vegas are making their first trip to the playoffs.
We won the division in enemy territory. If only Jack was here to see this. Oh wait, he's terrible, but so's the guy we got. So yeah, everyone's terrible. Everyone's terrible. We suck, but somehow we suck less than everybody else, and that's why we won the division. Ugh. I got very salty there. Congratulations, the team has clinched the division crown. Woo! We're gonna make the playoffs! Yeah, we don't need to play like this the rest of the year. We can literally just punt the remaining, what is it, 8 games? We can punt the remaining 8 games of the year and just do nothing and not have to worry about it. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So before I end the episode, let's see what the chase is like. Oh my god, Texas might actually make a run. Seattle, oh my god, look at how tight this wild card race suddenly got. There are legitimately 5 teams involved. You could argue Baltimore too, but like, who the hell cares? It's Baltimore. Cleveland also, but like, again, who cares? It's basically going to come down to Seattle, Texas, the Angels, the Tigers, and the White Sox. That is absolutely crazy that we have 5 teams in the wild card chase for these last 8 games. I guess you'll find out who the wild card team will be next episode. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm your friendly neighborhood N-Man64. Join me next time when we begin the American League Divisional Series on Friday in October baseball. Until we meet again, my lovelies, sayonara.